Let's talk about 6 motorcycling myths that just won't die, and they absolutely need to. So if you've started researching your way into the world of bikes, you'll have probably already come across some of the complete nonsense being spouted on Facebook groups and in the comment section of your favourite Instagram reels. Usually they come from an unexperienced account, someone called Dave who maybe rode a Booster once and now feels like he knows absolutely everything there is to know about motorbikes. In today's video, I'm going to take those myths and I plan to smash them into oblivion, because I feel like they survive way longer than they deserve, and they're probably causing issues for new riders and stuff out there who probably might end up believing in them. So, just in the style of Top of the Pops, for those of you that are old enough to remember it, let's start the countdown at the bottom, coming in at number 6. In at number 6, we've got, you'll ride better after your first crash. No, you won't, mate. Crashing doesn't make you a better rider, it just makes you sore, broken, and really bloody good at spending time on eBay looking for new fairings and parts for your bike. Crashing teaches you absolutely nothing except that gravity exists and she's a vindictive little witch. So what is going to make you a better rider? Well, practices, training, taking a course, going to an empty car park and practicing your manoeuvres. Just because you passed your test doesn't mean the learning has to stop. So don't think about going out and laying her down, because it's not a rite of passage. This isn't Hogwarts. You don't have to die to become enlightened and become a better rider. Get out there, practice, get some seat time. That is what's going to make you a better rider. Climbing to number 5 this week, it's a new entry for engine braking is bad for your bike. Now, I've heard some absolute nonsense, but this one, it's got to take the biscuit. It usually comes from someone who's never ever thrown a leg over a bike in their entire life. They're normally car drivers, because in the world of cars, well, engine braking is conceived as a bad way of stopping a vehicle. But bikes aren't the same as cars. Engine braking is actually one of the best ways to safely bring a bike to a controlled stop, fast. One of the first things you'll learn when being taught to ride a bike is how to safely engine brake. In an emergency situation, I was told at least, never ever to really engage the clutch. The priority is to stop the bike, don't worry about stalling it. You want to make sure you're using the bike's engine braking capabilities to bring that bike to a stop. So unless you're downshifting, like you're trying to time travel, engine braking is perfectly safe and completely normal for motorcycles. You know what's actually bad for your engine? Not servicing it, not looking after it, not maintaining it, and then riding it on dirty oil. So instead of worrying about engine braking, let's start looking at maintenance, shall we? We've got a re-entry at number 4 for warming your bike up for 10 minutes before actually going out for that ride. So here's the story. You start the bike up in the morning, you stand in the garage and you wait 10 minutes contemplating life choices. You burn some petrol, you scare the neighbour's cat, hell, you even scare the neighbours, and then you top it all off by giving yourself a dose of carbon monoxide poisoning all at the same time. Doesn't sound very good really, does it? So the thing for me, modern bikes, fuel injected engines, they don't need 10 minutes to find themselves in the morning. These aren't 90s sports classics, carburetted, gold wings or whatever. I mean, some of you are still riding those, that's fine. Take your 10 minutes, whatever. But if you've got something newer, it doesn't need any of that. Doesn't need that 10 minutes to bond with it each morning before going out on the ride. 30 seconds is plenty. Then you just have to ride it gently until the engine reaches temperature. Modern bikes aren't SpaceX rockets trying to find the next mission to Mars. They're much, much simpler than that. Just get them started, get out there and enjoy it. At 3, we've got the classic. A real rider needs a bigger bike. If it ain't a litre bike, it ain't worth riding. Yeah, okay. Because nothing screams a real rider like tiptoeing a 230 kilogram superbike in rush hour traffic and only ever using 1/10 of its power on a country road at weekends because, well, you're scared to see what it can do, because you never had any saddle time in a smaller bike where you could safely take it to its limits and understand how the bike handles when being pushed to its limits. Meanwhile, that guy in the 50cc moped just carved through all the traffic ahead of you, carrying someone's dinner in a Deliveroo backpack about as gracefully as a figure skater in an Olympics finals, because he understands the dynamics and the physics of how to actually ride a bike. So in my opinion, smaller bikes, well, they deserve some credit. They're fun, they're forgiving, and plenty of them are fast enough to have a good laugh on them in the right environment. For me, a real rider won't belittle someone for riding a 125. Real riders ride bikes and have fun on absolutely everything 2 wheels. That's the end of it for me. Still at number 2 for another week, you don't need gear for a short ride. Like, how many times have we heard people say, bro, I'm just nipping to the shops, I don't need all my gear on. Like, for me, that's an interesting concept, because the last time I checked, the pavement's no less abrasive when you're just nipping to the shop. Skin grafts don't care about distance, so the best advice I can give you is dress for the slide, not the ride. And finally, it's another week at number 1 for the absolute banger and always crowd favourite, loud pipes save lives. Ah yes, the sacred doctrination of every 125cc rider with his 6-inch Black Widow Jap can doing 35 miles an hour in 6th gear past every single school in his neighbourhood. Loud pipes save lives, because nothing says safety like deafening pedestrians after you've already passed them. Here's the thing with this, sound travels backwards out of the bike. Your bike sounds like the end of days to the driver and pedestrian you just passed. The one that's about to T-bone you as he pulls out of a junction ahead of you whilst faffing around with his Spotify playlist, he hasn't heard you coming. So no, loud pipes do not save lives. What does is awareness and riding safely. There you go then, that's 6 myths smash harder than the Grom stunt bike on TikTok getting dropped by some teenager learning how to wheelie. So next time you hear one of these, just smile politely, spin in the opposite direction and walk away. Because next thing you know, they'll start talking to you about running the bike on premium gas and how it gives you more power and whatnot. Anyway, if you like this video, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that great social media stuff. I've just started doing these videos. Really do appreciate all the comments and stuff that you guys leave. Let me know in the comments below as well, on that note, if there's anything that I've missed, any other myths and stuff you've heard that are complete and utter nonsense. And like I say, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Finally, it's another week at #1 for the absolute wasp. Modern, petrol injected, ugh. I don't need to do any of that. Go, 6 myths, smash harder than your nan. Can't say that. Bosh, why can't I just do that with the intro?